Hi boys and girls. Today we are going to learn more about those analogous colors that you kind of touched on last art class whenever you completed our worksheet. So let's take a look at this color wheel. Can you put a color wheel in between you and your elbow partner to look at? And make sure you're on the side that says analogous at the top. So looking at the color wheel, let's do a really quick review. In kindergarten, we learned the three primary colors. Can you think of those three primary colors in your head? If you are thinking red, yellow, and blue, you are correct. Those are the three primary colors, and they are even labeled on our color wheel. Then, after primary, we learned the secondary colors. Can you think of the three secondary colors in your head? If you said orange, green, and purple or violet, you are correct. So, you'll notice we have the primary colors, we have the secondary colors, but then we also have what are called tertiary colors. Let's try that. Tertiary. Good job. So tertiary colors are the colors in between the primary and secondary colors. If you look, in between red and orange is red-orange. It's kind of like a compound color or a compound word. So if I took bubble and gum and put it together, you get bubble gum. So if I take red and orange and put it together, I have red-orange, which sits in between red and orange on the color wheel. Same thing on this side. If I have violet and blue, put them together, I get blue-violet, okay? So if you go around, you'll see one tertiary in between every primary and secondary. So a tertiary is made up of one primary color, one secondary color. Red-violet, red is primary, violet is secondary. Blue-green, blue is primary, green is secondary. So you will find those on the color wheel as well. If you look at the top up here, you'll see that this color wheel is showing us an example of three analogous colors. Analogous colors are three or four colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So like I said, boys and girls, this is showing us an example of three analogous colors: red-violet, red, and red-orange. Those three are right next to each other on the color wheel. In your head, to yourself, take a minute and can you think of another set of analogous colors on the color wheel? So there are lots of different options here, but one option could be blue, blue-green, and green, or yellow, yellow-orange, and orange, or violet, blue-violet, and blue, because they're all next to each other on the color wheel. You could even add a fourth color, so you could do red-violet, red, red-orange, and orange if you wanted to. Answer me this question. If I have violet, green, and yellow-orange, are those three analogous colors? If you said no, you are correct. They are not next to each other on the color wheel. Take a minute. Think about which analogous colors, 3 or 4 analogous colors, you would like to use on your Georgia O'Keeffe big flower, macro flower. Okay, so at your table, you have a box of oil pastels. You are going to share these with your elbow partner. What I want you to do is I want you to figure out which analogous colored oiled pastels you're going to use. Here's what you'll have to do though. When you pick up an oil pastel, it's not going to tell you on the wrapper that this is yellow-orange. You kind of have to figure that out for yourself by laying it on the color wheel and seeing which color it is closest to. Okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to find the 3 analogous colored oil pastels from the box. Lay them on your color wheel. Make sure they match as best as you can, and then set them to the side because we are going to use those to practice. Okay, so I have my 3 analogous colors. I went with yellow-orange, orange, and red-orange. And what I want to do is I just want to figure out which one is my light, my medium, and my dark. So I can just kind of test these out on my paper. And I'm going to say that yellow-orange is my light, orange is my medium, and red-orange is my dark, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to practice blending our pastels. So you have a worksheet that has 2 practice flower petals on it. When you're doing this worksheet, you're gonna practice shading or blending light to medium to dark on this one, and then dark to medium to light on the second one. The biggest thing to remember when blending oil pastels is to color like a firework, which means a firework explodes from the middle to the outside, just like your flowers grow from the middle to the outside. So when we blend our colors, we want to follow the arrows on the outside of our petals. We never want to go side to side because then it will not blend. Let's take a look at number 1. Just watch Mrs. Alfera, and then you guys can practice on your own. Starting with my light, I'm going to go up to where it says my light should end, and I'm going to color in that area. I want to make sure I'm doing it very solid. And once I get up to that line, I repeat, do not want you to draw a side-to-side line for where you should stop. We need to end in an uneven line, kind of like how grass grows. Then I'm gonna start with my medium. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go up to that medium line, and I can overlap my colors because we will be blending them. And again, nice and solid. You don't want any white spots. End in an uneven line, just like grass grows. Do not make a side-to-side line. Then I'm gonna go in with my dark, same thing, and I'm gonna overlap into my medium. Okay, So right now, I have all three colors in my petal, but they are not blended yet. They are not blended yet. So what I need to do is I need to go back and I need to blend those colors together. To do that, I'm actually going to start with my middle color or my medium, and I'm going to color up into my dark a little bit. I'm going to overlap my dark and my medium, and then I'm also going to bring my medium down into my light a little bit. Then I'm going to take my light and I'm going to blend up into my medium. So now my colors have blended together. They no longer look like three separate colors on my petal. Let's take a look at the difference between the petal before I blended it and after I blended it. What I want you to do is I want you to use your three colors just like I showed you. I want you to practice one petal blending light to dark, and then one petal blending dark to light.